What if the fate of the entire world rested in the hands of 6 teenagers with superpowers? Well, that's the question that kickstarted the first book in the Eternal Keyverse. These 6 heroes are the foundation of everything in my universe, and today, I'm introducing them to all of you. I've been building the Eternal Keyverse for over a decade now. There's dozens of characters inside this universe, and the most important to the overarching story are the 9 Eternal Keys. Each of these keys show up in a different story or series, and they're the most integral part of my universe. But this video isn't about them. It's about the original 6, the most important characters in my heart. They're the world's first superhero team and the first characters that I ever created for the Eternal Keyverse. These characters all make their first appearances in Red Skies, the first book of the Prime Archives, which is my superhero trilogy series. If you want a deeper dive into what this series is all about, check out the video on screen or go visit my Patreon, where I'll be posting advanced chapters of Red Skies and other stories and exclusive lore drops no one else gets to see. Without the original 6, there is no Red Skies. And honestly, there is no Eternal Keyverse. But before we get to introductions, I need to give a little bit of backstory and context on how the original 6 got their powers. In my universe, there are people on Earth called Primes. Think of the mutants from the X-Men movies and comics. Primes are born with a super rare genotype called the Prime sequence. When a Prime is exposed to primonium in its raw form, which is an extraterrestrial element that I created, their powers manifest almost immediately. Now, I won't be spoiling Red Skies in this video because you guys can read it on my Patreon by joining one of the tiers, but here's the basic story. The original 6 were all living in the town of Riverhill at the same time. They all even went to the same high school. And during a forest party at night, they witnessed a terrorist organization called Nemesis drilling for primonium in the town's abandoned quarry. The 6 of them decided to spy on Nemesis and, well, they got captured. However, a private military company called Atlas intervened and a battle ensued. One thing led to another, and the original 6 were eventually exposed to copious amounts of primonium. And that's how they got their powers. Ooh, I know that was a lot, but now it's time to finally introduce you to the original 6. Let's start with the guy who kicks off Red Skies, Chase Masterson. He's the eventual leader of the team. And here's the thing, he didn't even want the title. But sometimes, leadership just chooses you. He grew up on a US naval base in the Atlantic Ocean as the son of 2 military veterans. He's never had any real friends or a permanent home. But growing up on military bases forged him into a soldier way before he even had his powers. By the time he hit his teens, he was already trained in martial arts, strategy, and leadership. And then, on that fateful day, he was exposed to primonium, and everything changed. He gained super strength and impenetrable skin. He became a literal living tank. Eventually, he took on the name of Sentinel after his high school's beloved mascot. With his black and blue armor, a sword, and an energy shield, he becomes the rock that holds the Primes together. Chase is honestly one of my favorite characters in the entire Eternal Keyverse. He's got those epic leadership moments in the Prime Archives that just make you want to stand up and cheer. He's great at giving speeches, he's great at fighting, and he's great at keeping a team together. Oh, and his favorite color is blue. He's basically my universe's Blue Ranger. Speaking of Rangers, yeah, his DNA basically comes from James Rogers in the next Avengers Heroes of Tomorrow, who is Captain America and Black Widow's son, and the Red Rangers from the Power Rangers franchise. But in my world, it's the Blue Ranger who leads the team. Next up, we've got Theodore Holland, but most people just call him Theo. Now, looking at Theo, you wouldn't exactly peg him to be a superhero. I mean, he's got asthma, he's got ADHD, and he's a total motor mouth. He's Chase's only real friend in high school. The two of them bonded after Chase punched Theo's bully in the nose for stealing his inhaler. It was an instant bromance. Even with Theo's asthma, he's always been a runner. In fact, he's on his high school's cross-country team, even if he is the slowest on the squad. That is, until the Promonium changes everything. Now, the element didn't cure his asthma. In fact, it kind of made it worse, but it also gave him super speed. At the moment, his code name is Blur, but since his suit is silver, I've played around with calling him Silver Bullet. I'm still workshopping his code name, so if you've got any suggestions, drop them down in the comments. Theo has a very hyperactive personality, he's a little paranoid, and he's usually the one second guessing every mission. He's not much of a fighter as he prefers to use his abilities to provide support from the sidelines, but don't let that fool you. He's the team's resident speedster and an integral member of the original 6. Next up, we've got Stella James, the star girl of River Hill, the hometown of most of the original 6. She's the class president, valedictorian, and an accomplished gymnast. Honestly, if she never got her powers, she probably would have been on her way to the Olympics. Now, Stella's the motherly one of the group. She's always trying to keep everyone else out of trouble. Yeah, she's a bit of a goody two-shoes, but don't get it twisted. She's got an edge to her that I can't wait to explore in future books. When she's exposed to the Promonium in Red Skies, Stella unlocks one of the most versatile power sets on the team. She can generate and control light. She can create hard light constructs, bend light rays, and see in different spectrums. And on top of that, she can manipulate her own electromagnetic field to levitate and eventually to fly. Her codename is Starchild, a nickname her dad gave her when she was young. And if we're thinking of the team as Power Rangers, Stella's rocking that yellow. She's the group's secondary leader, Chase's love interest, and in my headcanon, she has the potential to be the strongest of the original 6. Next up is Emily Yamiko, the second of the 3 point of view characters in Red Skies. As the eldest daughter of 2 Japanese immigrants, she grew up under constant pressure to be perfect. Growing up, Emily was a gifted musician. She can sing and play multiple instruments, including the piano. But her parents pushed her way too hard, and eventually she broke. And after her deepest, darkest secret was exposed to everyone in town, she reinvented herself as River Hill's goth queen and resident loner. And when she was exposed to the Promonium, she developed 2 unique abilities: supersonic vocal cords and enhanced hearing. However, there was a catch. Using her supersonic voice hurts, so she avoids it when she can. Instead, she relies on her elite archery skills, making her the team's long-range specialist. Think of her as the Hawkeye of the squad. She's also deadly in espionage and recon, thanks to her small frame and super hearing, which lets her detect enemies from far away. Emily is the Maverick of the original 6. She's the one most likely to act on her own or straight up disobey orders. Her suit color is purple, and her weapon of choice, I'm pretty sure you guessed it, it's a bow with an arsenal of trick arrows. And like Theo, her codename is still up in the air. In my original version of Red Skies, her codename was Echo, but then I changed it to Reverb. I quite like Reverb, but I'm definitely open to suggestions. If you have any, let me know down in the comments below. And now it's time to meet Oscar Jimenez Guadardo, the 3rd point of view character in Red Skies. He has one of the craziest arcs in the entire Eternal Keyverse. He also has one of the most tragic backstories of any character that I've ever created. At the age of 12, Oscar's life changed forever, and this was way before he even got his powers. The apartment that his family lived in caught fire. The firefighters were able to save him and his little sister Isabella, but his parents didn't make it. The only thing that he has left of them is his little sister and a single metal lighter that has his dad's initials engraved in it. Ever since that day, he's developed PTSD and a deep fear of fire. Yet, that's just one layer of Oscar. Despite everything that's happened to him, Oscar keeps the team laughing, always giving out nicknames, making jokes, and lifting spirits. And when he was exposed to the Promonium, it changed everything, and not exactly for the better. Not only was Oscar now immune to fire, but he can also create it, control it even. But he's terrified to even use his powers because of what happened to him in the past. However, it's his powers that make him one of the strongest on the team. After mastering his powers, he grows into an integral member of the team, eventually taking on the codename Fuego. Now, I know what you're thinking. Fuego is literally just fire in Spanish, and it might sound like a basic codename now, but he'll eventually evolve into something bigger. I mentioned he has one of the craziest arcs in the Keyverse, and what I mean by that is he goes from hero to villain, then back to hero. And I can't wait to share his story with all of you. His signature color is orange. And since I've been comparing them all to Power Rangers, I'm not sure if there's ever been an Orange Ranger, so I guess this would be a first. And last but not least, we've got Andre Steele, the 6th member of the team and easily the most mysterious. Think of Ferb from Phineas and Ferb. He barely speaks, but when he does, you're gonna wanna listen. Before receiving his powers, Andre was a talented basketball player at River Hill High School. Standing at a solid 6'6", he had the court all to himself. But then everything changed when he came into contact with the Primonium. He gained the ability to absorb properties of solid materials, mostly metals and stones. With this ability, he can coat his body in whatever he touches. With his quiet and imposing nature, he often looks like a living statue. But when it's time to fight, Andre handles business. He's the team's tank, absorbing attacks, acting as a decoy, and protecting everyone. If you've ever played Marvel Rivals, he would definitely be a Vanguard type character. Andre eventually earns the name of Titan, and the color of his suit is bronze. And trust me, he's a force that you don't want to mess with. By becoming a member on my Patreon, you can get access to all of these characters' lore files and a more in-depth look at their stories. You can find a link to my Patreon in the description and in the comment section of this video. Now, here's the thing. The original 6 aren't just random heroes. Every battle, every new hero, every villain, it all starts with them. I hope you all enjoyed meeting the original 6, and I can't wait to introduce you all to even more characters from the Eternal Keyverse. Now, here's where you all come in. I want you to build your own superhero team too. And if you already have one, tell me about them in the comments. Also, I want you guys to answer this one question. Which of the original 6 would you recruit onto your team? If you want early access to full lore drops, videos like this one, and exclusive stories, join my Patreon where phase 1 of the Eternal Keyverse is unfolding right now. The Eternal Keyverse has officially begun. The only question is, will you be a part of it?